Let's now apply the Porter Five Forces model to a current issue which is attracting a lot of attention in the country today. Let's take Walmart, the US supermarket giant, which is considering entering India. Now, Walmart is asking itself the question, is the supermarket industry in India attractive? Right? Now, Walmart is asking itself, is the supermarket industry in India attractive for itself? Is it attractive as an investment opportunity? Right? In other words, is it attractive as an investment opportunity where, through satisfying the needs of consumers, a margin, a profit can be made? Let's apply the Porter Five Forces model to the supermarket industry in India, and let's see if we can provide an answer to this question. Is the supermarket industry in India an attractive one? We start with force 1, ease of entry for competitors. Right? At the moment, there are no overseas supermarket chains operating in India. Walmart would be the first one to operate as a retail supermarket chain in India. The potential competitors of Walmart are companies like Tesco, which is a UK supermarket chain, Metro, which is a German supermarket chain, Carrefour, which is a French supermarket chain. These are potential competitors for Walmart. Now, once Walmart has entered the supermarket industry in India, then the question is, how easy is it for others like Tesco, Metro and so on to enter the supermarket industry following Walmart? That is the question. If it's easy for Tesco and Metro and Carrefour to come in after Walmart has already come in, if it's easy for the others to come in, then the industry is not so attractive for Walmart. On the other hand, if the industry is such that Walmart can create brand loyalty and prevent customers from wanting to move to a potential competitor, if that is the kind of industry the supermarket industry is, then it becomes that much more difficult for a potential competitor to enter, and therefore it becomes that much more attractive for Walmart to enter, to be in the industry. Now, the supermarket industry certainly can give rise to brand loyalty. The supermarket industry is not like the cement industry. In the case of the cement industry, cement is a product where it's very difficult to create brand loyalty. That is not the case with a supermarket industry. If you go to a Walmart supermarket, Walmart shop, and you find that your needs are met comprehensively and that your needs are met very economically which is one of the great points of Walmart, that Walmart always provides products at the cheapest rate that is available in the market, right? Once you find this, then you will think many times before switching from Walmart to another competitor like Tesco, if Tesco were to come in. So it is possible to create brand loyalty in the supermarket industry, and therefore it is attractive for Walmart to enter the industry, to come in and set up a supermarket chain. Now, let's give +1 to the issue of brand loyalty. +1 represents that the industry is attractive. Now let's look at economies of scale. Now, economies of scale, you recall, is a question of when you buy large numbers, the price at which you buy them comes down. Once Walmart is in India, and once Walmart has set up, let's say, 200 shops across India, or incidentally, Walmart has 250 shops in China, which it has set up over 20 years. Now, in the case of India, Walmart is entering with that experience, and hence would set up these 200 shops in a couple of years, right? So, if they have this large buying base in India, then they would have huge economies of scale, which it will be difficult for their competitors to match when they come into India, because their competitors would take much longer to reach that position. Therefore, let's give another +1 for economies of scale. So, cumulatively, for force 1, ease of entry for competitors, you were saying that the attractiveness score is 1 + 1, which is 2 in the case of force 1. Now let's go on to force 2. Force 2, the issue is, in the supermarket industry, is it the kind of industry where there is a lot of rivalry between supermarkets, between companies? What determines rivalry? One factor which determines rivalry is the rate of growth. Today, supermarkets are in a very rapid period of growth in India. And considering the fact that the supermarket industry has just begun in India, and that the Indian population, both in the urban and in the rural areas, is increasingly becoming market oriented, right? The possibility of the supermarket industry growing in India for the foreseeable future is very high. In that situation of high rate of growth, rivalry between supermarket chains will be low. As we saw earlier, when the rate of growth is high, rivalry is low. When the rate of growth is low, that is when rivalry between firms in the industry becomes high. So, since rivalry is low, let's give a +1. Now, let's look at amount of fixed costs which leads to rivalry. Well, in the case of the supermarket industry, yes, there are a huge amount of fixed costs which have to be put in initially to set up the industry, and these do give rise to rivalry among firms. Therefore, let's put a -1 when it comes to the amount of fixed costs. Then let's look at the exit barrier. Now, you will recall that if the exit barrier is high, which means if it is difficult for a firm to leave that industry after it has entered the industry, if it's difficult, then it makes rivalry high, right? Now look at the supermarket industry. Once you've entered the industry, once you've set up, let's say, 50 shops across the country, it becomes very uneconomical for the company to exit. So the exit barrier is high, right? And with a high exit barrier, you will also have high rivalry. Therefore, we give a -1. So here we are looking at force 2. Force 2, the combined score for force 2 is 1 -1 -1, and that's a -1, right?